How in the fuck in the history of this sport that there's only been 2 times a team haven't won at home, and we're both of them?
Welcome back to another edition of Beyond the Diamond Podcast here on the Apollo Podcast Network. Brian Lalima, Apollo Des, producer Josh here with you. This ALCS recap is presented to you by Academy Sports and Outdoors. And wrap it up, shut it down, season's over. Let's go home. They lose to the Rangers. Rangers are headed to the World Series. Let's go home, boys. Let's just do it. Fuck it. That's it.
Yeah. I'm not happy.
This sucks, man.
Yeah.
This sucks.
It was wildly, ironically funny that the season ended with Javier lasting a third of an inning, with the Astros offense not showing up at home and losing at home.
Yeah.
Like, because that was the entire 2023 season. And it was a game 7 that honestly we probably shouldn't even have been in, but we were in.
No, I mean, it was a perfect representation of the whole regular season. The rest of the playoffs, we finally were
couldn't win at home,
showing how we can play.
Yeah.
And then it just came all back in game 6 and game 7.
You guys ever take a step back and think about how that last day of the regular season went down? Imagine if the Astros don't win the division and get in as the wild card. That whole series against the Rangers would be flipped. They wouldn't have home field advantage. They would have to play games 6 and 7 back in Arlington. And I mean, obviously other things would have happened if they didn't make the division, weren't in the division winners, but it could have been completely different. And yet here we are, it's 2023, and that series went identical to 2019 World Series against the Nationals. No home team won their home games.
How in the fuck in the history of this sport that there's only been 2 times a team haven't won at home, and we're both of them?
It's the Astros both times.
Just demolish the stadium. We'll play at NRG or something. Figure it out. Play at Sugarland. I don't know.
Just go play over at whatever that stadium's called at University of Houston, whatever that field's called these days. Go play there.
Yeah.
Screw it.
So anywhere, somewhere different.
Yeah, I just it's frustrating, in quite honestly the biggest game of the season, Game 7 at home in the ALCS. You got Christian Javier on the mound, who has pitched lights out in the playoffs so far in his career, and he records 1 out. He recorded 1 out.
I mean, we said it going into it. The game will live or die on Javier. If he could have gone 4 innings, that's a whole different. Even 4 and a third, that's a whole different game.
This is what frustrates me. They had a clear game plan right off the bat.
Yep.
The Simeon at bat. You remember watching the movie Little Giants when Ed O'Neill's they know the play?
Yeah.
They know the play. As soon as that Simeon bat, which was an out, I was like, oh my God.
Yeah.
They are on top of every fastball.
Yeah.
Yep.
And they are spitting on slider. Next batter, Seager gets on top of a 4-seamer and launches one to the second deck. And that's that moment. I was like, this is over.
Yeah.
Because it didn't matter. They had the game plan of what they were doing. And then come to find out, I think Rosenthal wrote something a couple of days ago that Bochy was getting on to their BP thrower. And he was like, we're throwing nothing but forcing fastballs up during BP, and was yelling at him before the game to get the fastball up.
Yeah.
Not to ruin cookies.
And they were talking about swinging 2 or 3 baseballs above where they perceive the baseball to be able to hit Javier's fastball.
Yeah.
And it fucking worked. And that kind of concerns me for Javier's future. If every team's like, okay, you know how you hit this fastball, you swing 2 or 3 baseballs above it.
Yeah, but with that, I feel like this season he didn't make very many adjustments throughout. He was inconsistent the whole entire time.
Well, I think it was just because you're right, because his mechanics were off and everything. It was like he did so much effort just to get back to neutral.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? He fell so far back. He had to build all the way back up just to get back to this spot that he couldn't progress. He couldn't take that next step as a pitcher.
Yeah,
because he backslid out of it.
This offseason, is so huge for a lot of the Astros players as far as their adjustments that you make. I mean, Pena needs to almost completely change his swing. Like, there's a lot of players that really need to figure some stuff out for us to have a competitive.
We're winning the World Series in 2024.
The biggest question mark for me is not question mark, but the person that was most non-existent was Kyle Tucker. Like, he was nowhere to be found in the playoffs. He was awful.
Yeah,
like, he was not good. And it's
if you look at the OPS, for the top 5 hitters of the lineup and the bottom 5, that was the story.
Yeah,
because look, the Rangers offense 1 through 9 is pretty damn lethal, and they literally took like what the Astros have done in the last 7 years, where every out is so damn tough.
Yeah,
and we gave outs away with just slumps and
we lost.
Player personnel decisions. That's what happened.
And then honestly, in Game 7, they had opportunities. The Astros did to try to get back in the game, and they just couldn't get it done.
We lost this series in the first 2 games because we managed to hold the Rangers lineup, this crazy good Rangers lineup, to what was it? 2 runs in the first game and 5 runs in the second game. And our offense couldn't get going. And then caught up to us in the end. Eventually, the Rangers lineup, they're too good to hold down for a full 7-game series.
I said on here, there's going to be a game where the Rangers offense is going to put up a fuck ton of runs, and you just got to hope the Astros put up a fuck ton of runs a match, because they're capable of doing that in a 7-game series. You had to know that one of those 7 games was going to be an offensive explosion, and it happened in Game freaking 7.
And then, Max Scherzer wasn't very good, but then of course here comes Jordan Montgomery, and he just
was the move.
Just dices dudes up like he did all series long.
You called that on the podcast.
Yeah, you did.
I think that the performance, the difference between us going to JP France and them going to Jordan Montgomery made the game.
Do you freaking pull Hunter Brown?
Yeah.
Why do you pull Hunter Brown? Like, he literally stopped the bleeding. Unless he went to whoever's making the decisions in the dugout and was like, I'm gassed. Like, pull me. I have it.
Yeah, you got to ride the hot hand.
Yeah.
Then how do you not throw your fucking high leverage arms in that moment? Why are we putting them when we're down 7 runs? Oh, now Brian Brady's in. Now Hector Neris is in.
Hey,
Ryan Presley, thanks for coming out today, dude. You didn't even get to throw.
Hey, let it out, brother. We're here for you. This is a safe space. Come on.
Can I say?
It felt like a wasted opportunity.
Yeah.
This feels look. Baseball happens. They got their ass beat. You tip your cap. So be it. But it just feels like a wasted opportunity.
It doesn't feel like that. It was that. In reality, it was a wasted opportunity. There were moves that could have been made that were not made, but you could say that about the whole fucking season.
Yeah. Can I say one positive thing?
Yeah.
I know there's not much of anything.
The friends we made along the way.
Yordan Alvarez is a fucking dog.
Yeah. We wasted a great October from him.
And Altuve hit another fucking bomb.
I was really happy about that.
To it. I literally said we were just during the stream. We were just dying. We are just like, this is stupid. We're fucking losing. I was like, I'll at least be a little bit happy if Altuve adds another one to his record. And then in the 9th inning,
I feel like we stole one there for his record.
In the first few innings, even though what was happening, I think that was the loudest Minute Maid Park got the whole playoffs. Like, they finally decided to bring it.
Oh, thanks.
and then
Game 7.
I mean, it's Game 7 against the Rangers. I mean, they should have, but I'm just saying, like, I was like, man, I'm proud of them. They're standing, like, they're loud. Like, it was good. Like, it was a good crowd.
And you know what, man?
By the 3rd inning, it was over. So
this is all my fault.
But if you really think about it, fellas, like, the Astros battled injuries all year long. They were without Lance McCullers, without Luis Garcia, without Jose Altuve for 60 games. Yordan was out at times. Jose Urquidy was out more than half the season. Michael Brantley was out 80% of the season. Like, to make another run and be 9 outs away from another World Series appearance, like, that just goes back into this organization and the culture of winning and things. Are we frustrated and upset and pissed off that they got their ass kicked by the freaking Arlington Rangers? Absolutely. Like out of all teams, like, don't lose to the Rangers, and they got their ass kicked. But look, the Rangers offense did what the Rangers offense has done all season long. They were fucking nasty all season long. That's why I think it's a crock of shit that these Ranger fans like held on to this shock the world mentality. What do you mean shock the world? You had the top 2 offense the entire season long. If you beat the Astros, no one's going to be shocked.
Yeah.
Like, you know what pisses me off?
They were favored.
You know what pisses me off? That city gets to have this offense.
What
because
city?
The Arlington,
Dallas, area, DFW, like
they don't deserve that offense. That offense is good, and the fact that when they gave up the division and the whole jockeying between us, Seattle, for the month and a half of flirtation of whoever was leading the division, they already turned the fucking page to focus on the Cowboys, Oxnard's fucking training camp. Like this. That fan base does not deserve this fucking great offense and a great manager in Bruce Bochy. Bochy's going for his 4th ring, man.
Yeah, and I think
that was their biggest hire. That was their biggest move.
Another thing that caught my attention was John Smoltz towards the end of that game on the broadcast talked about how Bruce Bochy managed this team all season long, and one of the things he said was Bruce Bochy ran with the same lineup basically the entire season. He didn't change it even though he got criticized. And I'm thinking, I wonder what that's like.
Yeah.
Like we don't have that.
Consistency.
The inconsistencies, dude. And we're going to have our season recap here on Beyond the Diamond in a couple of days. But like just the inconsistencies, man, just all season long, just irritate the shit out of me.
Yeah. I will say this. We're 4 days removed? Right? Monday was game 7?
I don't know. I just got out of surgery. I don't know what day it is.
I'm at the point in October, and this is just us being spoiled because the standard is to play for pennants. That's where we are as a fan base and as an organization, which is amazing. Like, to say that out loud, the goal is to play for a pennant every year. I mean, it's all coach speak. All 30 teams say that every year when they break spring training. But the standard here in Houston is we are playing for a pennant every year. And obviously baseball happens. The other side of it is with Dusty Baker now retiring. As a fan of baseball and everything he's done for the sport, I also thought it was really cool as a minority to see a minority head coach for my favorite team.
Yeah.
And like, I'm going to do a blog about it and try to get my words out. Obviously, super thankful for what he did for this organization and bringing another title and riding the ship. But like for me, like that was really fucking cool to see my favorite team have a minority head coach. Not to make it like the whole like political race. I was just like, just as a human being level, I was like, that is freaking awesome. And to see him get his championship last year, obviously this year wasn't great. We didn't win, and you could tell like he had his game plan. It was going to go down with his guys and his game plan on the ship, and he did. But like as a human being, I was like, man, that has been a hell of a 4 years because that was something I never really thought could happen,
right?
But it did, and I'm like, man, it's cool. It was awesome.
Well,
I got to drink tequila with him.
Yeah, I think I got to share a Dos Equis with him too. That was pretty cool at the Bregman event. I think one of the things that we should all think back is when Jeff Luhnow and Jim Crane were both, or when Jim Crane fired both Jim. Hang on, dude. Sorry, my dog's. Hey, I'm podcasting. Go lay down. Go lay down. No, you too, Oprah. Go. We'll go outside in a minute. Hang on. Go.
I'm gonna keep this in because this is cute.
Can y'all hear the little clanking?
Yeah.
Ah, dang. That's all right. Anyway, sorry. They're anxious to go out. You know, I got this old, look like I'm about to go deliver packages at Walmart.
No, you
got the Kevin James.
You look like the guy that bought something off of what's that show when people buy stuff on QVC? It was like you're getting the abs, your summer abs, like vibrates your like core.
Talking about the shocking thing or whatever. Yeah. Either that or like when I put my thumbs in here, I kind of feel like like I said earlier, like a police officer. You boys been drinking tonight? I think one of the things that we also should look back on is when Jim Crane fired Jeff Luhnow and AJ Hinch after the scandal broke in 2019, going into that season, going into the 2020 season. Everything was a shit show. Like, let's be honest, they were losing draft picks for 2 years. Everyone was up in arms about the cheating scandal. You had the Dodgers talking shit. You had basically everybody. The entire league was pissed off, rightfully so. I truly believe that Dusty Baker was the right man for this job.
Absolutely.
He's got the cool, calm, collected attitude. He's seen so much in his playing days and in his managerial days. And you go back to when he was playing baseball, and you brought up the minority card. Like, Dusty Baker played in an era where racism was a big thing, right? And he's talked about it. And so for him to come and manage this team through this scandal, that's nothing to him, right? And then throw in COVID in a bubble season and all the other bullshit that ran with that. And I just think
it would have been so easy.
Yeah, we can sit here and criticize managerial decisions, which we're going to do as fans anyways, regardless. And we can question his lineups and his moves to the bullpen and things like that. But at the end of the day, Dusty Baker was the right guy to hire for this job. And he kept the shit going. Did he inherit good players? Yeah, but on the flip side of that, he could have demolished this place. He could have tanked the place. But yeah, going.
It was like we were midair and on this flight, and the pilot just passed out.
Is there a doctor on board?
Can anybody fly this plane? And somebody else could have taken the wheel, and we could have just fucking crashed.
Right.
But somehow he managed to keep us afloat and have us fly.
And he was just like, "Hey, you guys, boys, we go check out Turks and Caicos. I got this. We're good."
Yeah.
Like, we're gonna party, boys.
And like, of course, man. Like I said, like, we can criticize lineups and criticize. But just look at all the shit that he inherited. Meaning, cheating scandal, fired GM, got to hire a new GM, fired manager, COVID, that roster he had during COVID. You had Luis Garcia, Jose Urquidy, Josh James, all the other guys.
Paredes, Blake Taylor.
What was the dude with the big old ass?
And Andre Scrub.
Like, these were all young dudes that were coming up from Single A, from Fayetteville in pitching, and they forced a Game 7 in the ALCS. But I know we're coming up on time, and we'll hit a little more on that.
We'll do a whole Dusty segment.
Yeah, we'll do a Dusty recap.
On Tuesday.
Best manager in Astros history.
I was going to say,
a lot of people are arguing that,
and I do think time and revisionist history will make it even better for Dusty, because right now it's fresh, right? Right now, the frustrations of 2023 and the frustrations of losing to who you lost to go to be eliminated, is all right there. And I think as time heals all wounds, the revisionist history that fans will have and look back at the Dusty Baker era is going to be very, very good.
It should be. It
should be, because I do think he's the best manager we've ever had in this franchise. And I know he said that he mentioned he was probably going to retire mid-year. He finally figured that out.
Yeah.
Look, I'm still thankful. Like, we were still one game away from the World Series again. Like, if the worst Astros year in this golden era was being one game away from the World Series, you fucking take that. Like,
all day.
In a perfect world, we're playing MLB The Show. We put up 100 runs on the Rangers. Yeah, but that's not reality.
Yeah.
Like, baseball happens. There's a winner and a loser. It just happened to be us today.
Yeah.
And so,
and then another positive way to end this episode is the Astros window is not closed by any means.
No.
Everybody besides a few are going to be back. So this window is not closed. It is still wide open, and they're going to be there every single year for the next couple of years. So that's a positive thing to end on, even though they got beat in 7 games by the Texas fucking Rangers, which sucks. It is what it is.
Well, yeah, and then we ended luckily, throughout the playoffs, we had very little injury issues.
Yeah.
Everybody seemed to be pretty healthy.
Ooh. That's a good dude. You're getting really good on your segues. I'm
very
kind of calling you Segue Josh.
Segue Josh in the building. Good segue.
I mean, keep running with it, dude. You have
I'm just saying. I mean, this podcast is brought to you by Sweet Green, and our Sweet Green Health Report is all good as far as throughout the playoffs, we had no new injuries. Nobody punched a locker. Nobody.
That's true.
Nobody got hurt during the playoffs. Everybody.
No knees.
Everybody
no
who we ended the season with, that's under contract, is back next year with no issues. So I'm happy.
And they have like new bowls too. I have the email they just sent out. Obviously, the elote bowl's been out, but they have a new one, an Italian chopped salad. This is right up your alley, dog.
Yeah,
From fresh Parmesan, dog. And some salami, some fresh sliced salami. Look at you. I see you cheesing. I know the La Lima, But yes, use what's the promo code?
It's Apollo HOU5.
Apollo HOU5,
I believe.
Use it. Go get a Sweet Green Bowl, and shout out Big City Wings, Houston's Wing Joint, Apollo's Wing Joint. Shout out at Celebrity Mint. Follow them on Instagram at The Celebrity Mint. They have a Tyson thing dropping here soon. Little spoiler alert. And zang responsibly. The boys zanged it up. You know what? Garrett, I'm gonna make him zang me up right now. I need one. I need something right now after this week. Yeah. I'm gonna zang responsibly.
Zang responsibly.
Yeah, I'm gonna take me another pain pill and a muscle relaxer, and I'll see y'all next week.
For everyone watching, Brian had surgery. He's just not. He's not just abusing.
It's total context right here. I literally just had back surgery.
Yeah.
Dang, dude.
Hey, cool shirt.
You have a nice back brace.
Yeah. So check that out. Just had a microdiscectomy, but we're here. So that's why I'm taking pills. I'm not, just.
You got a what?
You got a what?
I'm not just raging at 11:30 in the morning.
Can't believe we lost.
Well,
I look like an idiot.
Well, we'll be back Tuesday
Hey, I will say real quick before we get out of here. The Rangers fan base is pretty fucking soft. I didn't get any bookmarked. Like,
dude, I didn't either.
Yeah. Threw anything at me.
Nobody bookmarked it. Even Apollo. Like Apollo, I was expecting
quote tweets, chirps. I got a few updates. Nothing big.
I got one thing, and it was a ha on one of my tweets. That was it.
I mean, we posted that whole rant of yours, like talking shit on the Rangers, and nobody.
I said the Rangers wouldn't even make the playoffs. That was a video clip.
Put it to you guys this way: I get more shit talked to me by our own Astros fan base than I did the Rangers fan base.
Yeah, that's very true.
So
that's a good observation. They did not chirp. I thought they would chirp better.
Yeah,
pretty soft, man. Just act like you've been there, because I can tell you what. If the Astros win that game 7, I know all of us were going to be on.
God, let's not talk about that. All right, we'll be back Tuesday with our season recap. Talk about the whole season as a whole, regular season, postseason, all of it.
Off season.
Look
around. Managerial search.
We'll be here all off season with the managerial search, any moves that get made, all that stuff. Thank you for watching and listening to the Beyond an Evan podcast. I'm Josh, as Des, as Brian. We will see you next time.
I will go softly into the good night.
Love you guys. There it is. Make sure you did it.
Ah!